Welcome back to a new cassette game. Here on the east side we have Piaucu playing as the French in the color red. And here on the west side we have Torquato playing as the Byzantines in the color purple. They are both gold players. My name is Trui and with me is Nim. Hello.
Hello. Good day.
It's been a while since we uploaded. It's because I had a stomach flu and couldn't do anything.
You were so sick, poor thing. Can we?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. I wanted to see the influence zone of the cistern here, because I was curious if we were reaching that goal vein, which we are. Not much else though. I suppose the berry bushes are still in range of that, and you could put down a lumber camp here that might still sort of be in range, but it wouldn't be in range for very long.
French starting out on the food.
Yeah, no, so in this matchup, obviously, Torquato can expect knights to be coming in. It's basically all the French got, right? It's all the French got.
Yeah, you're definitely more a fan of Jeanne d'Arc over the French, right?
These days, yeah, I feel like the French are kind of lacking in great options at this moment. I feel like they've got not a lot going for. I mean, they're a fine faction. Don't get me wrong. But just on the ladder, right? I kind of struggle to really make good use of their abilities. Like, they've got the free melee upgrade, which is good, right? Like
especially with the knights.
It allows for very strong raids because you need to charge and then do one hit to kill a villager, and otherwise a villager will be left with 2 HP because a +1 means. Well, when you hit twice,
you got 2 extra hit points.
Yeah. So that's very good. That's very interesting. So those raids are very powerful. Obviously, though, Torquato is on Byzantines here, and the Byzantines have some fantastic spearmen.
Yeah, and spearmen are good against knight and horsemen.
They have the what do you call them? Yeah, they were just trying to make the Grand Winery.
Just trying to
They just dropped off the food and wanted to move on to the Grand Winery. So the Grand Winery is obviously placed on the berries. You always want to place it on the berries, and that first system is on those berries. So it's going to be boosting that production.
This is going to be boosted twice then.
So the cistern adds gathering speed. Yeah. The Grand Winery adds an extra output from olive oil.
Ah, okay. So it's getting boosted twice, but with different perks.
You get more olive oil from your deliveries than you would otherwise get.
And is the Great Winery also a drop-off point?
It is a drop-off point.
Okay. So now you don't have to place a meal on the berries either.
Correct. Yeah. It is a meal in itself, essentially. But no, like for Torquato, the game plan should definitely be get a barracks up early. I see that he is heavy on wood. Needs to build a house eventually. Wants an outpost first. I think I get that.
Yeah, there are probably gonna be raids on his gold, especially because it's pretty far from the town center.
I like that they're making that with 2 villagers as well. And because like, these outposts take a long time to get up sometimes, and this really solidifies your position on the gold here.
But you know that like the knight's not coming out for another 30 seconds, so like, it's coming out in 30 and then it needs to walk over, so it's not going to be here before 5.
Yeah, but it is a good idea to rush up outposts if you feel like you're going to be wanting them.
School of Cavalry coming in. First knight's been queued.
And let's take a look at where they're sending that knight towards already. So they're gonna send them to the back. So the this was their idea already. They wanted to probably send that knight to out to that gold.
Yeah, I think that's totally predictable as well. Like, if you're playing up against the French, this is definitely something they're gonna do. I mean, there is a chance that they won't make any knights.
Torquato is very fortunate to have that gold in the back already.
It's gonna be making it a lot easier than in the front for sure.
Yeah, they're still rallying out to wood. They're still grabbing more wood. I think they do want to make a barracks here eventually. There we go. There's the barracks. So that we can get the Limitane in. Scout position actually quite well for Torquato. He saw that knight coming in.
Yeah, now immediately alerted. Wheelbarrow also coming in for the Byzantines right here. Pretty early wheelbarrow.
Yeah, it's a good wheelbarrow. Are there more knights on the way? There are more knights on the way. There's a third one in queue already.
Double Brodex coming in as well. Yeah, when trying to make spearmen, we do need quite some wood, so
yeah, the thing is, like,
it's nice.
You know, like sometimes you want to open up with a mercenary house instead, right? Because you're grabbing food anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're gonna get those.
So you're gonna get
like
olive
those,
oil anyway.
Because you want those berries, you want those olive guards up, olive. How do you call them? Olive farms.
Olive groves, I think. They call them.
Groves. Yeah.
But it makes sense to start out with the barracks against the knight heavy civ, like against the Rus, for example. You might also just want to start out with the barracks because there are no tier 1 anti-cav units in here in the mercenary house, right? You've got the javelin throwers, you've got the longbows, and you've got the keshiks.
Yeah, I love how he's already recognizing, hey, my wood line right here is my weak point. So trying to defend that with the spearmen. Make sure to not walk too far out, because the further you walk out, the easier it is for the knights to go around and hit something else where you're not defending, because your spearmen are not going to be as fast as those knights are going to be.
So very proactive on this defense, though. It's really good to see this poor villager. Where they're moving out their spearmen to the villagers constructing already, and they're rallying over here. They were rallying onto the wood line to put those other Limitani there.
Yeah, and again, seeing those knights going for the berries and getting those spearmen, the Limitani, in place immediately.
The positioning of the houses here is also very, very smart. So again, the Byzantines have a tech that they can research border settlements, and it gives them a lot of line of sight on these houses. So putting those houses at the edge of your base,
it's pretty good.
Is like gives you a lot of sight here.
Yeah, and it's not that bad if you would lose a house, right? So if it's out of place and it's gonna be ramped because it's like super far away, it doesn't really matter as much as all your other buildings do.
Yep. Okay. Second archer range coming up for Piaucu.
Yeah, trying to counter those spearmen, because, well, the spearmen counter the knights, but the archers counter the spearmen.
Yeah, I think it's important to realize that Piaucu needs to do some sort of damage, right? Piaucu wants to do some sort of damage. If the game continues like this, where Piaucu gets absolutely nothing, no value at all, and he can't lose these knights to these Limitani here.
Ooh,
that's one villager down, and then it's back out again. Would love to see another wall come up here for Torquato.
Yeah, the thing is, with these knights, it's like they need to put like a lot of resources in them, right? If they get away, they will heal eventually. So they won't lose the resources. They
can. So chivalry has been nerfed in recent times. I say recent, but like it's been like that for a while. Refresh the slumber camp. So there we go. There's the wall coming up.
Nice.
Bring out those spearmen over here, those Limitani.
Yeah. I was gonna say we need a gate, but the gate's coming up right now.
The longbowmen supplementing the Limitani here are an excellent choice, right? It's what I hope we would see. It's either longbowmen or the Kashyyyks. Because Kashyyyks are still pretty tanky. They can go toe to toe with the cavalry.
Yeah, because
but it's you know that the archers are coming.
Yeah, you already anticipating them, and that's super great. And now because the longbow,
I prefer the longbow.
They can shoot a little further, so they're great in defense.
Actually, you've got three options really, like because the javelin throwers are also a very obvious choice against the archer.
They work anti-range as well.
Yeah, they have anti-ranged damage. So I think Torquato is just looking to go castle, whereas Piaucu is nowhere near.
Nope. Having 17 on wood, don't think the plan is to go castle for the French player here.
Yeah, I think the French player would have been a lot better off focusing on their own eco when they realized that it was not gonna work, that the gold was already secure, that they've
Yep.
already got those limitane up.
It's not gonna
those
be
walls
easier
are up,
to,
right?
to raid now, because like the longer it goes, the more walls the Byzantine player can make, and the harder it's gonna be to raid.
Yeah, I think the play for Piaucu here would have just been moving into another town center. Right, securing some more resources.
Yeah, making sure that you know.
Like
the
we're
Byzantine
on
player has to
berries
push.
here, where we
There's
should be on
yeah.
deer.
If you have map control, you can go out and grab some deer.
Like we're playing the aggressive faction here as the French, right? And I think it's important to realize that they're stuck in their base right now. They don't want to leave. They're fine being here. Make use of the better food supply. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
Very good, Piaucu. But like this should have come up early because that's a lot of food that we're missing out on. And okay, survival techniques is coming in. I do like that. But this should have happened earlier.
Yeah.
Is the thing, because it would have given Piaucu a lot more momentum to really make this push, right? To really make something out of what they've got going on here. It's going to be the Golden Horn Tower, nice and snug against that cistern, so it is going to benefit from that extra reinforcement speed, the recruitment speed.
The house. Oh no.
Yeah, would love to see a line formation on these archers here to deal with these longbowmen. These longbowmen are pushing out way too far.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if Torquato really caught these out. That's going to be losing a lot of them. And if these go down, right, their limitane have no recourse.
Like, and now you have less longbows than that the French has archers, meaning that they're gonna just clean up your mess.
Poor control for Piaucu here. Like, drawing those a little bit too close. These archers just need to keep farming, and then it's free game, right? Like, these archers can keep going.
Yeah, now you have a problem because you don't have as many archers, and it's gonna be harder to send those spearmen in.
Need to see more archers coming in from Piaucu. I hope he's rallying out more of them here still. Yes. Yes, there is a third archery range.
Oh no. The spearman seems to be on the archers and the archers on the knights.
Oh, I hate like the Piaucu keeps sending his knights like past the spearmen instead of like really avoiding them. Right? So Torquato is excellent to realize, hey, I'm castle. I need to use the powers that castle gives me.
Yeah, the advantages.
To the advantages that Castle Age gives me to really pull ahead here. Because I am losing some units here, right? I'm not winning these fights here. Like Piaucu is going pretty ham on what they're doing, and Piaucu needs to keep this going. Honestly, would love to see them coming out again. Like this gold is in the back, right? It makes it a little bit difficult, but would love to see them stopping the gold income. I think Torquato accidentally just garrisoned everything.
Yeah. I think they pressed the bell icon maybe. Are they inside of the bell icon range? No.
Yeah, so siege engineering coming in for Piaucu here, doing the right thing, recognizing that he needs this to stop, right? But the way to stop this is to take control of the gold.
Yeah.
Because, like, stopping their food right now, pretty difficult, right? Stopping their gold, an absolute possibility. And that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, and even if you just idle them out, right?
It's about idling them. It's about slowing their roll, right? Because that is what needs to happen here. Moving these onto berries yet again when there is...
There's more hunts.
There are more deer back there.
And especially if you researched the survival techniques.
Yeah, the ranking guards are out, and they're right on top of those archers here.
Yeah, but like the spearmen not to be on the archers.
The archers need to be focusing those limitane and not the ranking guards, because this is the problem if you let your opponent grab too much gold.
they're gonna be able to make deluxe units.
Yeah, the
Whatever
men
that's
at
gonna be
arms
for
or the
yeah.
variant thereof, the Varangians for the Byzantines, obviously. So this is what where you needed to be, right? This is where your army needed to be. This is what needed to be idled out, because they're just pumping out Varangians left and right, and they will keep doing that for as long as you let them.
Yeah, and I feel like it's pretty doable to hit that gold as well if you go from like the west side, right?
We're mis-macroing here. We obviously should be going into a lot more food if we wanted to keep this up.
Yeah,
This,
the French player has a lot of wood, and also like the lumber camp needed to be refreshed 5 minutes ago because they're walking so far right now.
Yeah, I hope like they realize like with all this downtime, like, hey, I need to manage my economy here. They did grab like a lot of the military techs, right? Whereas the Byzantines have been more specific with what they're getting here, getting the range defense, which is obvious because that's their point, right?
Yeah,
like
that's the counter.
that's their counter. If they lose out on all their limitane, then you know they're in big trouble. And don't forget, like the limitane have this ability where they can shield wall.
Why does it look like a pumpkin? Can't
It's
see
so
it.
hard to.
Oh, there. See, it looks like a pumpkin.
They're just shields. No, now Piaucu needs to go to castle as well if he wants to compete with this now, right? Because he's been too late at really stopping the gold. Would love to see some monk coming out for these relics.
Yeah, we've been in castle for
Like
quite a long.
Torquato has the resources to do so.
Yeah, I mean the French player can't yet because they need to go into castle first, but the Byzantines have been in the castle for at least 5 minutes
Piaucu
now.
really mis-macroing here because again, I think they're moving on to what?
Stone? Second town center?
I don't think now is the time for a second town center because you are gonna get pushed, right?
Yeah, these are the idols on the food.
And that has evened out the villager count here pretty much. Piaucu losing a lot of these villagers here, and there will be no, like, there's no real recourse against us, right? Because there's so many Varangians in here, and those knights can go toe to toe with the Varangians, but not the limitane. There's only 3 limitane in here, which is not a lot.
No, and now the knights are gonna go for all those longbowmen, and they're gonna try and put the impalings out.
No, canceling those impalings by moving them out already.
That hurts.
These knights can just fight these Varangians. But you prefer to fight underneath that TC for you because the numbers here are far much more in favor of Torquato.
Yeah, but I feel like
You don't need to take this fight, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to take this fight.
I do feel like we're not winning anything from this fight. I mean, of course, like the French player is winning that they're defending, right? But other than that, nothing is happening right now. Except for that the army is just, you know, on both sides getting less big.
Yeah, it's very much just a mis-macro, and on top of that, a misreading of what the counter here should be, because it should be crossbows. It should be crossbows, right? Because they do very, very well against the Varangians. They would do decent against the longbowmen. They would do well against the limitane. They're not a counter against the limitane, don't get me wrong. They don't do extra damage, but you can still kite them, right? So the crossbow are basically, they perform well or are a direct counter against all of these units.
Oh, all those villagers. It's going to drop off anyway.
First relic is in. Very good. And this idles out some more of, like, these need to drop off their food. Did they drop off?
Half of them did.
Yeah, we're too late on this mill. Too late with moving over to the deer here, and there's not enough food.
And there's still people in the town center.
The last food source for Piaucu is down here.
I think there's only like 10 of the villagers working at the moment, because there's 10 in the town center, 10 running for their life.
We're 16 off from actually going castle, not making villagers anymore.
Yeah, trying to get that food, I think.
Yeah,
they're going for the berries now.
They're desperate to go to castle, but like their economy has been idled out. They cannot move these back here. You've got all this gold, there's all this wood, Piaucu.
Make a market.
Just make some farms.
Make a market.
Do anything. Why do we gather all this stone?
I mean, I guess it was safe together, but we need to do something.
It was just like, it was so clearly not the time to be gathering stone when we needed to be going castle, right? 2
relics in the bank for the Byzantine player. The third one is on the way.
Yeah, that's a safe one that just went out.
And making some battering rams right now, 3 of them in total. And these are how do you call them?
Carusophons.
Yeah, they're not normal rams. They actually are fire rams. And
okay.
They do a lot of damage.
Are we making villages again, Piaucu?
I mean, all the food has been spent to.
Because what happened here, right? What happened here? Like, let's recap, right? Piaucu's in French. French went to raid. Their raids are unsuccessful. Their raids are too slow. They failed to realize that, hey, they're going castle now. And they failed to realize that once they go castle, the way for them to power their castle is with gold. He needed to be on the gold. He needed to idle out the gold. He did have more military units than Torquato had at that point. That's what needed to happen.
The relic has arrived. Right, there's 6 rams here, and they're the big boy rams.
Oh my god!
I'm not sure if this is gonna be stoppable because there is an army of 3. Oh, that was it.
That's GG. That's GG. Yeah, that was textbook Byzantines and French failing to understand like how this matchup works, right?
If you want to see more Age of Empires, make sure to click on one of these playlists or videos, and make sure to subscribe to not miss anything, because we're back.